It's likely that you've heard of The Secret and all about manifesting love and happiness in your life. But just how valid is this stuff? In this video, I explore the science behind attracting positivity in your life and discuss scientifically proven ways to attract more happiness and, yes, even love in your life. If you're a skeptic like me, you might want to stick around for this one. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and bell now to be notified every time I post a new video about how to lead and live a more authentic, fear-less life. As a PhD in biology, I am pretty skeptical when it comes to a lot of the woo-woo law of attraction type of stuff. But even I must admit, there may be something to it. Let's dive into the science behind it. One of the things we know from research around confirmation bias is that you see what you're looking for. It's known as the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. When you buy that blue Tesla and then suddenly you start to see blue Teslas everywhere, since the brain is bombarded with 400 billion bits of information every single second, it has to decide for you what to focus on and what should be filtered out. But when you first hear a song or buy a new blue car or that fanny pack you've been eyeing, your brain holds that discovery in your working memory. So now all the times before that moment when your brain might have filtered that information right past your conscious recognition, instead now your brain starts to signal for you to lock into it. And you begin seeing these blue cars and fanny packs everywhere you go, or always hearing that same song. I remember this effect happening in my own life when I first started to study birds. I was so excited about seeing my very first hawk. Previously, I'd thought of them as kind of these mystical creatures that you really didn't see very frequently. And then I saw my second one and my third, and by the 21st hawk I saw over the time frame of about 2 days, I was a little underwhelmed. I couldn't even drive my regular route to school anymore without seeing hawks lining the streetlights. Turns out, hawks are everywhere. How did I miss them before? It was a delightful awakening, but also a shock to my system. It made me wonder if I could be this oblivious to something that was literally always right in front of my eyes. What else might I be missing in life? This is where we get back to how your brain filters positive and negative things. Our brains are wired to see negativity, danger, and fear. We've developed search images for all of the ways in which the world is a scary, dangerous place. And because of that Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, we find it. But in today's modern world, we are not prey. We don't have to operate with our heads on a swivel, constantly on the lookout for all that might go bad. With the relatively sudden change in our environment to this modern day, our brains need a bit of an overhaul. We need to actively change our search image. Rather than filtering out all of the abundance and love and art and good things that the world has to offer as, well, that's nice, but what if we paused and we noticed and we forced our brain to encode all of the good? What can you savor this week? Take a moment to think of something positive that you often simply overlook. And let me know in the comments below something positive that you intend to slow down and take notice of this week. In order to begin the process of manifesting our goals in life, we have to get our whole nervous system on board. We can't just wish for good things and casually note them as we float through our days. We have to be bought into a totally new truth of this abundant world that we live in. The hard part here is that for many of us, this feels like a huge brick wall, a catch-22, if you will. Most of us have to live an experience in order to fully believe it. But we also have to believe fully before we can actually experience it. And this is where things get really cool. Because the good news is, most of us have actually experienced a world of love and happiness. We've just allowed our brains to forget and forego it. Let me explain. Do you remember when you fell in love? May not have been your first or your last. I'm not going to ask. But I want you right now in your own mind to go back to that time. Imagine the time right after you and your love had just met, and visualize how you interacted with the world. Life was beautiful. The birds were singing just for you. You drowned out those negative comments from your colleagues with a smile, and you whistled your way back to work. You even leapt out of bed for your morning run, even after having almost zero sleep. Rather than an inconvenience, the rain felt like a baptism. This euphoria is something that Dr. Bruce Lipton refers to as the honeymoon effect. The cool thing is that you created it. You essentially manifested your own little heaven on earth for some period of time because your focus was love. You wore the rose-colored lenses of love, and the world for some period of time returned that love right back to you. So, if the world and our experience of it is what we make of it, how can we begin to make more honeymoon days, months, and years for ourselves? And manifest new goals as well. The trick is to continue practicing savoring all of the good that we see and reinvesting that love in ourselves. Use the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon to your benefit to see the world around you in a whole new light. It turns out most of this manifestation work is done simply by where you focus your attention. Imagine if you could start seeing the world with love. If you could use a little more help with science-backed strategies to bring more joy into your own life, I'd love to help you move into a more confident, authentic, abundant space to live more, fear less. Reach out to me at info@RebeccaHeiss.com and let's schedule a call to chat. No charge. And let's see how I can work with you and your team to become your most powerful, authentic selves. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this content, I suspect that you may enjoy a few of my other videos as well about affirmations and habit building. You can check them out right here. And please do me the favor of subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos with your friends. Don't hesitate to tag them. The more people find these videos, the more people like you can benefit. So until next time, live more, fear less.